Kai, man, it's good to see you. How you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Good to see you too. I'm good.
Good. So the theme for tonight are newcomers that are going to have an impact, and we're thinking through that. We had to have Cai Bates on. It's been your recruitment. I know is one of the more high profile ones this past cycle. You're a top 100 player nationally. You're also a baseball player. I know that's. Are you playing baseball?
No, sir. That's Cam.
That's right. Sorry, guys. Anyway, we'll just pretend like that didn't happen. It's only live with people watching. But no, man, it's been really cool to talk to you since you got here. I mean, you're a very, very intelligent young man. I know you're very focused, very driven. Can you just talk about your mindset going into your first spring as an early enrollee who should be in high school? Like, what were you thinking? What was your main focus going in? And maybe now that you've been here a while, how has that shifted?
I'll definitely say my main focus was just to learn, just take as much information in as possible, and just to really lean on Coach Pat as a guy that's just been there, done that. I just feel like he's a lot more reliable than a lot of other people because he's not just telling me just to tell me. He's done it, and he's been through it before. So just learning and just taking in as much information and just getting used to my schedule as a college athlete and just being productive.
So can you give us just a little bit of insight, because I know a lot of our fans love following recruiting. As a top 100 guy, highly recruited, like what's that decision process like? Like, how do you even make that decision, and what's going through your head like the month leading up to that?
It's probably one of the most stressful decisions or most stressful months ever, to be honest. It's what you want, but when you get it, it's like, oh my, like. But I mean, honestly, it's a blessing. But just going through that whole process, you're not talking to one person. You're talking to the school that's recruiting you. You're talking to your position coach, his assistant, the director of recruiting, all those people. So that's at least 4 people from one school contacting you at once. And me just being highly recruited, it was just like really kind of overbearing for a while. But that was probably one of the first decisions that I made on my own as a young man. So just being that this decision was for me and for me only, and nobody could make the decision for me. I just feel like that was probably one of the most stressful things I've been through.
I can imagine. Yeah. Multiply that by everyone. So folks, if y'all want to ask questions, please throw them in the chat. But I want to ask one more. Again, you are a highly recruited guy out of the Orlando area, and leaving the team this year, unfortunately, is who I hope goes down as one of the best Florida State Seminole defensive backs, Renardo Green, also out of a similar area. Have you gotten a chance to talk with him and Jarian and any of the DBs from last year's team?
Yes, sir.
And what have those been like?
It's been pretty cool talking to them. Him being not even 10 minutes from my school, Wakaiva High School, just being around that same area and just seeing people from my area be able to come out and do big things. Just knowing that you could do it too, and seeing people like that you can relate to, people that just really have your best interests. Just really good talking to him, and just during practice he'll be out there giving tips and just really just motivating and looking out for us.
Yeah, and Renardo, I assume, is giving those tips in a very calm manner. He's not probably just using a normal voice, not yelling at all.
Right.
Nothing. Yeah. I'm sure it's just like that.
Monotone. Yeah. So it's kind of and that's kind of how I am too. So that's how I am. So I mean, me and him kind of just the short conversation that we did have on the field. Just a few times, he was telling me, I'm pressing him no man's land, get out of that, that's high school, so he been helping me out, definitely, from the few short conversations that we have had.
That's great, man. So 21 wants to know, Kai, what's your pregame ritual?
I just listen to music.
Okay.
I listen to a lot of music, and in high school, I was kind of a superstitious type of person. I feel like I would have to do the same thing. Every game day, I'll take the same walking paths and things like that. Just listen to the same playlist, things like that. I just feel like I had to do.
What's on the playlist?
My favorite artist is Kendrick Lamar.
Okay.
So I listen to a lot of Kendrick Lamar, but to get you ready for a game, it's a lot of Young Boy, J-Dot, G40, a lot of just music that'll get you ready to play football.
Yeah. So how many games have you been to in Doak Campbell?
I've been to, as a recruit, I've been to 3.
Okay.
But growing up, I've been to a good amount of them. But my last game that I went to was the Miami, and then I was actually at the game against North Alabama too. So that was the game I actually committed, but it was silently. I never announced it until I really felt like I wanted to. But I committed at that game. Before the game, I went up to Coach Norvell at the hotel. Not at the hotel. I went up to Coach Norvell, and I just committed, and that was it. I silently committed there.
Awesome. So I imagine you're just really excited to actually be down on the field now with that many people going nuts for you.
Yeah,
hopefully a lot of sellout crowds this year.
Definitely.
So Buck C wants to know, Kai, who's the fastest in the DB room?
Fastest in the DB room, I'd probably say, I feel like it's Jabril Ross. He can run. Jabril can run. Like from like all of our GPS times and all that. Jabril, he can run.
So they publish the GPS times to y'all every day,
so
y'all can kind of compete and see who is.
Every day. But my quickest I went is 20.6, but I think Jabril has gone up to I think 20.8. So he's got me beat by a couple, and I think it was Jabril and Conrad. I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
I got to check the list again, but Jabril definitely he's moving.
Yeah, folks, that's 20.8 miles per hour. Yeah, that's wild. So 904 Ant, Kai, how has the transition from high school to the college level been so far? I guess we could talk a little bit, maybe we couch that as like, what just overall the transition up here, but then what are some specific like coaching things you've had to pick up on that are, unique to the college game?
Definitely like technique wise. Just it's a lot more nitpicky on your technique, just the little things that you wouldn't think about, like ripping your elbow, getting into transitions and things like that. But I just feel like really it was a lot more on technique and knowing your assignment. Just it's really, if you don't know it, you're not going to be on the field. So you got to know what you're doing. You got to know where to be and when to be. And you just got to be comfortable in that so that you can make plays. So just knowing how to study film, how to watch film, how to take notes, things like that will definitely take you a long way. So it's definitely where I had to adjust.
How helpful is it getting up to speed for the college game of having a coach like Pat Surtain, who has done it at an incredibly high level himself, coached his son to do it at an incredibly high level himself, and now is, being very successful as a DB coach?
I mean, obviously he's credible. He's definitely a credible person, just seeing like what he's done, his track record, and his son as well. But just being able to be in the room with him every day and a person that can really relate to you, and just as a person before a football player, like just having conversations that aren't even about football, like just little jokingly conversations. And like we'll spend time, like we were at Coach Fuller's house this weekend playing basketball. Coach Pat jumping in the knockout games with us, just playing basketball with us. Like it's not often that you get a coach like that just is really involved with you guys. So just having a person like that around is just really helpful.
Is Coach Pat the best hooper of the coaching staff?
I don't think he can get around like that no more.
Okay.
I don't think he can.
All right, so Nick Snyder asked about your commitment. So when you commit silently, what's the strategy in making it public? Who makes the decision when the announcement would have the most impact?
It's really all on. It's the decision is my decision. I just felt like when I committed silently, I just felt like I wasn't ready to announce it at that moment. I just wanted to wait until I chose a specific date to announce it. And I wanted to focus on finishing my season before I announced that, because I decommitted right before the playoffs started for my high school season. So there's a lot of attention that comes with announcements like that. So I just felt like I wanted to wait until I could focus on enjoying the time with my high school teammates that I had, enjoying them and spending time with my brothers, and just really focusing on trying to win a championship. And I feel like after we got finished with my season, I just felt like it was the right time to announce it, so I did.
How tough is that when you're a high school kid and you decommit? Like, obviously, we all see what happens on social media. I mean, do you just turn your phone off? Like, how do you block that out, and how do you deal with that?
I mean, really, like, you just got to learn how to ignore it, because, I mean, you can only ignore notifications for so long, but just turn the phone off and go live real life. I mean, it is social media at the end of the day. So it's a lot of people that really just see the outside of things and not what's really going on.
Yep.
Like, they never really lived this decision and been through it. So people like that, you just kind of just got to just brush them off, just move on.
For sure, man. So Ed Lemieux wants to know, Kai, who is the most difficult wide receiver to cover?
That's tough because we got a lot of receivers out there that can play. But I'll say Malik Benson, like he's really tough. He's like really shifty, really quick. People like Hakeem Williams, I'll say between Malik and Malik, like, he just got speed.
Yeah.
Malik, like, he's fast. Like Malik, if you let him get in his stride, like, it's over. So you gotta really like be quick on your feet guarding Malik, for real.
So last one, I'll let you get out of here. But obviously the wide receivers have a saying on this team: no block, no rock. They love to block. They pride themselves in how physical they are. Who have you had, I guess, your best battles with in the run game that you've had to go against as a blocker?
Hakeem, definitely. Okay. Hakeem can block. Hakeem and perimeter, in our perimeter period in practice. For some reason, I always end up going against Hakeem, but he can definitely block. Like that's one thing he's really good at.
Yeah, and it looks like I've seen him literally lift that sled over his head.
Yeah.
It's pretty wild to watch.
Yeah.
But we appreciate you stopping by, Kai. Thank you so much for taking the time to give the fans, some insight into your recruitment and how you've been adjusting. So appreciate it, man. Thank you.